Hello and welcome back to An Old Man Watches, and today I'm going to be talking about the 2001 cheerleader crime comedy Sugar and Spice. And our main character for the film is Diane Weston, and her life is actually pretty great. She's dating the cutest boy in school, she's captain of the school cheerleading team, and her sunny, pleasant disposition makes her near universally popular with everyone she meets. Overall, she's pretty justified each morning when she looks into her mirror and tells herself, "These are the best days of your life. For now." Alas, the sunshine and roses come to an end when Diane unexpectedly falls pregnant. Her parents are not supportive in the slightest. Diane and her boyfriend both find themselves disowned. While they manage to find an apartment and get part-time jobs, they'll never be able to stay financially afloat once Diane can't work any longer. Fortunately, Diane's got the full support of her fellow cheer squad members. They're fiercely protective of their captain and prepared to go to any lengths necessary to ensure that she and her baby are financially secure. Now, if this movie had been made in the 70s, it probably would have been a cue for a sex farce with lots of naked bosoms as the ladies used their sexuality to rake in the cash. But this was 2001, so the ladies of Sugar and Spice instead decided to use their elite cheerleading skills to rob a bank. What could possibly go wrong? So, to be honest, I think that your immediate reaction to the words use their elite cheerleading skills to rob a bank is a pretty good guide to how you'll feel about this film. If your immediate reaction was positive, something like, "That sounds like a goofy good time," then Sugar and Spice is probably going to work okay for you. If you thought something negative like, "Well, that sounds dumb," the movie's not going to change your opinion. So if you did have a strong reaction to that phrase, you probably don't need to watch the rest of this video. If you like the idea, go see the film. If you didn't like the idea, don't bother. But in case you're on the fence, or you still want to know more, I'm going to keep talking about the film in a bit more detail, because that's what we do here. So one of my favourite things about Sugar and Spice is that it is very much a female-centred movie. While Diane's pregnancy obviously involved the participation of her boyfriend, and he and a few other male characters do have roles in the film, the vast majority of the film's narrative is driven by women and their relationships with each other. For instance, the cheerleading team are Diane's friends and fierce supporters. They conceive the heist because of their loyalty to her and their desire to help her, and having come up with the idea, they plan and execute the robbery themselves. Male characters in this film mostly there as window dressing and supporting cast, in much the same way that female characters often tend to be in other movies. Heck, even the primary threat to the group's success comes from another female character and stems out of her relationship with them, not anything to do with the guy. This is certainly a movie that more than passes the Bechdel test. Sugar and Spice was casting at the same time as another cheerleader-focused film, Peyton Reed's Bring It On. According to at least one of the actors from the latter film, Sugar and Spice was seen as the more desirable project, which probably goes some way to explaining its extremely talented cast. You've got Marley Shelton, Melissa George, Mina Savari all playing major roles, and they've all forged long and successful acting careers. They're far from the end of the talent pool, though. You've got Marla Sokolov, then riding high with the successful TV show The Practice, playing the only girl in school who doesn't like Diane, and fun supporting turns from Sean Young and James Marsden. In fact, in some ways, the film's wealth of talent works to a disadvantage. Sugar and Spice only runs 81 minutes, including credits, and while that runtime is pretty much perfect for the light and breezy crime hijinks it depicts, it's also simply not enough time to give everyone in the cast lots of opportunity to shine. If you're watching this movie because you're a big Mina Savari fan, for instance, and at the time you came out she was probably the biggest name in the main cast, then you might feel a bit disappointed that she didn't get more to do in the script. Ironically, it would be the apparently unfavoured Bring It On, headlined by Kirsten Dunst, that would ultimately prove the critical and commercial victor between these two films. Made for a similar budget, it got substantially better overall reviews and recouped more than 8 times its own production cost at the box office. So, just goes to show you that sometimes the prestige project isn't the one that works out, at least financially. So the initial idea for this film arose from a 1999 series of armed robberies perpetrated by 4 teenage girls. Originally titled Sugar and Spice and Semi-Automatics, it was retitled and rewritten, mostly to tone it down, in the wake of the Columbine High School shootings, understandably so. Despite those changes, however, it is still ultimately a crime comedy about a group of teenagers committing an armed robbery. While the team do use their cheerleading techniques in the course of the heist, they are also waving guns around while they're doing it. and the film mostly just treats this as wacky hijinks. Oh, those crazy kids. The film attracted some negative commentary for this apparently blasé attitude, which I think might be a smidgen harsh. The script is, after all, very clear about the fact that the team have no intention of using the weapons. Still, given the ongoing problem with gun violence and gun safety, particularly in the US, I would understand if this is a black mark against the film for some viewers. Ultimately, Sugar and Spice is not a movie that takes itself very seriously. The characters are highly exaggerated and over the top, and the film's events are far-fetched. Its approach to gun violence is, I think, in keeping with that. I enjoyed the film, but I think it's a movie that needs the audience to meet it halfway. Next time, a rather more thoughtful film, the 1998 black and white and colour comedy Pleasantville. But that's next time. Until then, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.